My rigging is here. Yay! So here are the things that I got. We ordered the Manfrotto mini tripod. What's super cool about it, it's really easy to put a mount on and very simple with one button to unlock and reposition. That's gonna be fun to try out. And to mount the phone that I'm using right now that's very shaky because I don't have it on this, we're using this Wuhoto mount. And by the way, Wesa says hello. Hello, Wesa. How are you doing this morning? Then we got a microphone here, the VXR 1000 directional. Now there's another mic that we really want to get specifically for use with our GoPros that we have on our list to get, but right now this will do fine. It was super inexpensive. And ChargeWorks lightning headphone adapter to adapt this mic to the phone so that we get a nice clear quality sound. So that is the rig, and you'll probably notice a significant difference in the quality of our videos, won't you? Yeah, you're gonna notice it too, aren't you? Moving forward, you will definitely be noticing a better quality in our videos because of this rig. Look at me getting all creative with shots. So because I don't have a dash cam yet, I am not going to film while driving. I'm just going to set the camera down and drive on into town. So that was interesting. Something that a lot of us entrepreneurs don't really take into consideration when we are starting a new project is all the little steps and nuances that go into it. So as I was driving here, I was thinking to myself, okay, so to set up the shot of me pulling into the parking space, I have to park the car, get out of the car, set up the camera, go back to the car, drive into the space, record it, and then that's good, right? Well, it only works if you actually hit the record button. Ask me how I know. So I have to do it twice, and there's like guys cutting lawn out here and borough workers, and I'm like, the other thing is, what are people thinking of me? Which, by the way, totally not a good idea to be wondering what other people think, because like YouTubers are not a popular thing in this town. It's a little town, and we're in a big warehouse district. There's a lot of construction going on right now, so there's a lot of construction people around, and it's just not a YouTuber type community like, say, Ontario. Seeing someone with a camera is not common, and of course weed whackers are going on right now. Maybe I should start calling these Jeep chats and just do one every time I'm inspired to say something. There's an idea. So I am in my Jeep today and thinking through these things as I drove here. All sorts of questions and ideas pop in my head, like what kind of storylines can I do? What kind of things would people be interested in? What about, some of the project? It's all part of the process of starting a new project, right? And then I thought through, like, what about the front facing camera versus the nice camera on the back of the phone? And obviously you might see a difference. This is the front facing camera I'm using now, and the other shots, except for the Jeep shot, I did use the front facing camera for that just so I could square it up right. And honestly, I'm not sure how it turned out yet. That is something else entirely I have to think about. On the GoPro, it may not be that big of a deal, but on the phone, there's definitely a difference between the cameras. And, I'm not using color balancing right now because I'm not using Premiere. I will be teaching myself that. And Tony is more familiar with it because he used it for our little documentary video about COVID that we'll be posting to the channel as well. I think it's already on his personal channel, but we're going to post it to this channel as well. It was actually a very powerful video, I thought. Anyway, that aside, a lot of these ideas are popping into my head on my way here, and I'm like, I could show me stacking up these bins in the room we affectionately call the shit room. It stands for shipping, handling, inventory, and tracking, because that's what we do in that room. So I have all these shots in my head, and then I'm going, oh my word, it is 10:47 and our store opens at 11 and I need to open it. So all these thoughts processing in my head as to my schedule and how can I fit filming into the process. Man, that's a lot to think about, because it's not as simple as setting setting up a camera and just doing stuff. It's like set up a camera to take the shots of me pulling the stuff out of the car, and then set up the camera to take the shots of me stacking the bins in the shit room and me unlocking the door, and like all these little clips that might only be 1 second in length, just like me getting into the car, were take time to set up. So we've done the math on it. We've studied other YouTubers. We've been watching them for about a year or so now in preparation, and we realized that some of their really cool cuts and shots are a lot of work behind those. You know, it might be a 1 or 2 second sequence, but it takes time to do that. It takes 3 to 4 times as long to do something when you're filming versus just doing it. That's something that we're gonna have to take into consideration. Like anytime you are doing a new project, it might take longer to get into the flow of things, to know what kinds of shots work. And in this case, you know, thinking through the different kinds of things that I can share with you guys about entrepreneurship. I don't want to just do like my daily grind, because that can get a little boring. We have variety every single day, don't get me wrong, but a lot of things are over and over repetitive. I mean, I pretty much make a latte every morning, and then I stop at the local coffee shop for my second latte at some point during the morning. By the way, I didn't start drinking coffee until we opened our second store 2 years ago, and I learned the power of espresso, which brings me to another thing I was thinking about on the way here. What do I talk about as far as like scripted versus non-scripted? Because honestly, I can write them, but I really suck at following them. I am not good at it unless I have some bullet points, and then I just talk off the cuff about the bullet points, which is easy for me. It's much more easy for me to just talk about a topic than try and script it. I do a lot better just talking. When I've done speaking gigs, I do have a PowerPoint. You know, I follow along with the bullet points, and I know about how many slides it takes for an hour or an hour and a half of topic. But depending on the time and how it's going, I always watch the clock at the back of the room, because usually I have one. And depending on that and which slide I'm on, I know whether to speed something up or slow it down. It just comes instinctually to me. For me, I've had to learn how I work. For these YouTube videos, I think they're going to be largely unscripted, partly because you just never know what's going to come out, especially as Tony and I start working on stuff together, because we've been talking about that too. And we really love the off-the-cuff podcasts like the Maddie and Pete Show. They are super fun to watch, and part of that is just because you never know which direction their conversations are going to take. So we're taking all these things, these little things into consideration that end up being big things, which is why it's taken us a while to create this channel. So it is 10:52 and I have a store to go open, so I'm going to skip the whole filming of the emptying bins right now because I'm not going to bother emptying them, and I will see you all in the next vid.